Yo, welcome to another installment of TTRS J-Way. Today I just want to go through a couple of the do's and don'ts of ride sharing, at least for TTRS. First off the bat, make sure your vehicle is in good working order, make sure it's clean, make sure it smells good. These are basics, but a lot of people don't ensure this stuff. Make sure you have the right equipment, make sure your phone is in good working order, it's charged, plugged in, you have a decent data plan. I have an unlimited data plan. You need your tools to do your job at the end of the day. You need your tools to do anything efficiently, you know, so make sure all that's right up. First rule of thumb when ride sharing is be smart when you're driving. Obey all the traffic laws, don't break the speed limit, whether or not the rider is in a hurry. They're not going to pay the ticket for you. They're not going to pay the priority bus route ticket, so be smart, don't do that. Be pleasant with your riders. When they get into the vehicle, you know, if you're pleasant and courteous, it kind of sets the tone for how your ride is going to be. It also eliminates mix-ups with riders. I address my riders by name when they get in the vehicle. You know, I'll say, hey George, how you doing? That kind of thing, just to make sure it's the right rider. Because on a busy night, there are more than one person's requesting rides, and the wrong person may get into your vehicle. It has happened already. But luckily, I called their name, and then we figured out it wasn't the right ride. When you get a request, so it's a good idea to initiate contact with the rider. GPS isn't always 100% accurate. It depends on your data, it depends on the rider's data, it depends on weather conditions. All that affects GPS, and the data is sent in like 30-second packets. So sometimes the rider may not always get the correct ETA. So it's a good idea to call them or initiate contact via the texting app. Let them know, well, you're on your way, and give the ETA that Waze is giving you. It's always more accurate. It eliminates cancels. It eliminates managing the rider's expectations. It helps you in the long run. It's always a good thing to do. So when you get to your pickup location, you have to manage your time and you have to be wise. So when you get there, now never start a ride if the rider is not in your vehicle unless they have given consent for you to start that ride. So when you get to your location, you make contact again with the rider, let them know you're here, because some are not always paying attention to their phones and they don't see the driver has arrived notification. So you holler at them, you let them know, listen, I'm here. If the rider does not show after 5 minutes, then you holler at them again. You give them an option. You say it's either the ride is gonna be cancelled at this point, you can't wait any longer, or I'm gonna start the ride. Are you gonna allow me to start the ride? If they decline, well, then you have the option to cancel and go on to the next. It makes no sense sitting and waiting 20 minutes for riders, and you're off the clock. Time is money, and riders don't care too much about that. All they care about is getting from point A to point B. So you have to manage the situation and manage their expectations. Ensure that your music isn't loud and offensive, and stay away from polarizing stuff like, let's say, politics, religion, that kind of thing is always a good idea. So most of the time my music is easy listening, jazz, house, something neutral. The more relaxed your rider is, the easier time you're gonna have on your ride. Yeah, always ensure that you have a cash float, because we take cash in Trini via TTRS. The onus is on you to make sure that you have adequate change for that customer. The onus is not on them. So I always make sure I have a money clip with a float. Anywhere I go to the gas station, I gas up. I use a $100 bill, make sure I'm always breaking up that money, so I always have change at all times. If you don't have change and the rider doesn't either, and you get short on your fare, that's on you. TTRS is not going to reimburse you for that, because it's there in black and white. Make sure you have adequate change. Ensure that your device is plugged in. It's always charged. You don't want to run out of power. wherever you're going, your navigation is, it depends on your phone. make sure that you always have a pretty decent data plan. I have an unlimited data plan. I don't use prepaid, just in case I don't get to top my phone up. That's not good business, not a good idea. Another thing, make sure you're properly attired. Guys, the shorts and the flip-flops, yeah, you want to be comfortable, yeah, you're probably going to be driving all day, but at the end of the day, yes, it's your vehicle, but dress properly too. And ladies too, I mean, be wise. Also, flip-flops is a safety concern when you're driving. A lot of people don't take note of that, but anybody who has done defensive driving or who has driven long enough will know that wearing flip-flops and you have to brake in an emergency or something like that, you can put yourself and the rider in danger. So be smart about that. Right, so the number one thing that you don't do is fraternize with your riders. Do not. You have absolutely no reason to contact your rider after they have left your vehicle and the ride has ended. Even if they have left something in your vehicle, you contact support, TTRS support, and they will get in touch with the rider and make arrangements. Don't. Fellas, especially, we're the main culprit, not we, in fact. But ladies do it too, yes, but don't fraternize with your riders, please. Don't haggle with them either about whatever fare that you see on your screen. If it comes up as zero, it's either a cash wallet trip or credit card trip. Do not ask the rider for cash. When you see that, whatever you see on your screen is what you take. Whether or not you believe there's a glitch in the app, you can contact support after. TTRS will reimburse you if there are any mistakes on the part of the app. Do not get into it with customers about fares. Don't. If they short you and they dip, like I said, TTRS will reimburse you. Don't risk your life for a fare. That's not wise. People, please do not take contrary routes or drive extremely slow or anything like that in order to try to inflate fares. Anybody who has been doing ride sharing long enough and has a brain in their head know that that's not wise. Driving slowly for a couple extra bucks does not work in your favor. It's best that you be as efficient as you can to pick up and drop off your rider, and then on to the next trip. You may be missing out on another trip by just driving slowly to pick up a couple extra bucks. It also messes with your ratings, which is now going to mess with if you're considered preferred or not. If you have very low ratings, then you're not going to make the cut. Do the right thing, guys. You know what I mean? Also, don't discriminate. Don't ever discriminate, you know, when it comes to your riders. Now, people may have safety concerns. That's fine. So, let's say you have a rider and you think they may be drunk, they may be dirty, stuff like that. They may have a pet and you may not be into that. You do have the right, you know, to cancel on that ride. You do. But be courteous about it. Be polite. Inform the person. However, you should not discriminate on the basis of perceived gender or perceived sexual orientation or race or anything like that. That's a no-no. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't have to be said, but it needs to be said. Don't ever do that. That's not wise. So there are a ton of apps out there now. There's a new app every Monday morning. TTRS has no problem for you driving for other apps. However, when it starts to interfere with your service delivery for TTRS, then you risk deactivation. I know a guy that was on a TTRS trip. While waiting for the customer, another ride came in on a competing app. He left the spot while the person was attending to their business. Tried to do the trip on her ticket, on her TTRS time, and come back. That is insane. That makes no sense. I mean, if you're working for the other apps, do it one at a time, you know. Be wise about that. Don't ever drive tired. I know some people are out there chasing the dollar, but driving sleepy or driving tired is just as bad as driving under the influence of alcohol. It's been shown to be almost the same. And of course, don't drive under the influence of alcohol. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink when you know you're gonna have to drive. That's again grounds for instant deactivation. Also, this job requires a lot of patience, you know, and ejecting a rider should be your last resort. Your last resort. Ejecting a rider for being annoying or anything like that's not acceptable. If you fear for your safety, if you're being attacked personally, if the person is cursing you out, if they're maliciously gonna damage your vehicle or something like that, then by all means you can't end the ride. You can't tell the passenger to leave your car, but exercise some patience, exercise some understanding. You're going to get difficult riders. That's part of the job. You know, keep a cool head. One more point to make about going off-road. It's all part of being prepared to drive. You need to make sure your vehicle is gassed up before you start driving. So during the course of the day, you may have to top up again. Do that between trips. Take your wrap off, get your gas, then get ready to drive again. Do not ever take your riders on a gas run. Do not ever ask them if you can go on a gas run, unless it's a circumstance where it's an unexpectedly long trip. Well, then they're gonna have to understand, well, then you may need to top up your gas. You still need to ask them though. Taking a rider anywhere against their will, if they refuse for you to go get gas and you take them against their will, that is bordering on kidnapping. Be wise. Don't ever do that, you know. Be prepared. Boy Scout motto. That's about it for do's and don'ts. Hope I didn't miss anything. But be smart out there and safe driving. Gonna do a video soon with my own personal tips and tricks. Look out for that. But in the meantime, safe driving. TTRS the J-Way. See you soon.